Hello, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of the day or night it is at RAI. It's a great privilege speaking to all of you, and I did that for the first 13 years of my life as a teacher. Day in, day out, I used to speak to children like you. One of them happens to be Dikshant, who asked me to put in a few words to all you folks. I'm slightly outdated now. I was just 27, 28 years of age when I started teaching at RAI. And over the last 3 decades or so, I think so, life has given me a great deal of opportunity, a great deal of perspective. I have seen education change over the last 3 decades. So maybe I might be able to give you some insights that might help you. The choice is completely yours. You can listen to me and just forget about it. You can listen to me and give me some thoughts. Give some thoughts. But do listen to me. I racked a lot of my mind to try to speak something which is relevant to you today. I chose one topic which I thought was very, very important in today's world. Always, and that's failure. Failure, the opposite of success. Now that you might think is a very strange a strange subject to talk to. But yes, I think so. Failure is very, very important in life. It gets everybody. There's nobody in this world who doesn't fail. And maybe if you're very cautious in life, you may not fail. But then if you're so cautious in life, I think so you have failed living life as a default. It's not worth living. In life, you have to take it on headlong. You have to take your chances. You have to take the risks, because life does not come in a way in which you can tread very cautiously. You may lead a very long life in case you go in a very steady way. But I guess in case you really want to experience life, you've got to take it on. And when you take it on, you're going to bound to be failing. Many of you might be aware of what failure is, because in schools we fail children. You fail in exams, you fail in physics, you fail in chemistry, you fail in mathematics, you fail in history, any subject you fail in. So we are taught at a very young age what failure is. But we all of a sudden, we start thinking, oh, life is not really worth it. I failed. And you start looking down upon yourself. Now that is precisely what you must not do. I failed 3 times in the IAS exam. I failed in the bank exam. I failed many other places, I can say. Certainly, I can't remember. There have been too many failures. But each failure brought me to what I really was. You know, I was never really meant to take exams like the IAS. I was not meant to take the exams like the IIT. I was not meant to take those kind of exams at all. But because people expected me to take those exams, I tried and I failed. So each failure brought me closer to what I actually could do. And that is, I had to do something in which I could talk. And that is what I'm doing. Even now, I started teaching. And while I started teaching, I all of a sudden realized that I had tremendous potential, and I realized my other plus points. I could influence people, I could influence students, I could put in long hours, I never felt tired. I mean, so all those kind of things I never knew I could do, I realized when I started teaching. And that is because I failed in the exam. You too, all you will fail and will continue to fail, because there is a gap in what your parents and what others expect of you and what you want to do. As long as you're trying to do what the others want you to do, the bad point is that you will fail. And if you fail, the good thing is that it will ultimately bring you to what you're good at. So don't feel frightened of failures. That's the first point I want to tell you. The second point which I think all of you must realize is that with each failure, you get better. Nietzsche, the great German philosopher, said, he says, short of dying, every other problem that you go through makes you better. So if you are going to die in an attempt to succeed, probably that would be the end of the story. But as long as you're alive, keep trying and keep working hard, because that is where your ultimate success will be. Get into something which you like. And even in that you might fail once or twice, but you won't be a failure for life. And don't be frightened of failing in what you want to do. Sachin Tendulkar had 14 zeros, 14 ducks in his career. Sunil Gavaskar didn't score a single run 12 times in his career. And the great Sir Donald Bradman, I mean, he's supposed to be the greatest cricketer ever. Nobody's ever going to surpass him in future as well. They say 99.94 runs per innings is a huge average. He was out in the last innings of his match, of his life. He was out clean bowled for 0, so he failed. But the thing is that they failed, and that also temporarily, and they failed only for a short time in what they loved doing, and that was playing cricket. But you will fail in case, every day you will fail in case you get into something that you don't love to do. And that, I think so, is very, very important for you to understand. Apart from that, if you fail, don't blame anybody. If you fail and if you don't do well in 10th class or in 12th class, don't blame your school. Don't blame your parents. The great thing about life is that, like medicines, blaming also has an expiry date. कुछ देर के लिए चलता है कि मेरे टीचर ने मेरे को नहीं अच्छा पढ़ाया, मेरे माता पिता ने मेरे को अच्छा नहीं पढ़ाया, उसका भी एक्सपायरी डेट होता है. 3-4 साल के बाद you will realize you're on your own. Then nobody is there, so you'll have to take life headlong. So don't blame anybody in case you fail. But the point I'm trying to make is, try to get into things that you want to do. And don't feel frightened. Please take the risks. Don't even feel frightened if you feel, something might happen to me. Don't worry. Because as Seneca, the great Roman philosopher, said about life, and I quote, he said, like in a story, so in life. Like in a story, so in life, it is not how long it is, but how good it is. So, have a lovely life. Don't aim for a defensive long life. Even a short, good life is much, much better than a long, uneventful life. I could go on and on, but that's for another day. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for listening to me. God bless. Much love to you.